Hey there, lovely soul, and welcome back to the ExpressionFiberArts YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you our beautiful brand new pattern, Tessitura, as well as demonstrating 7 different ways that you can join yarn in your knitting or your crocheting. This gorgeous sweater was designed for you by Debbie Mage, and she was inspired by her time spent living in Portugal. She saw so many beautiful textures there, from the cobblestone street to the clay roofs, the gorgeous tile work, and the beautiful terraced vineyards. To capture that beauty, she designed this absolutely beautiful pullover pattern with this stunning textured yoke, and then a nice simple stockinette stitch body and sleeves. And it also features some lovely ribbing for the neck and the cuff and the hemline. And one of my favorite features, there's short row shaping in the neckline, cleverly hidden in the neckband, so you get a perfect fit without it interrupting the flow of the design. And let me tell you, this pattern is very customizable. Since the body and the sleeves are stockinette stitch, it's super easy to adjust the length of both. So you can make the sleeves shorter, you can make them longer, you can make the body cropped or longer, whatever you desire. And I feel whether you're headed out for a coffee date, just cozying up at home, or exploring textures in your own neighborhood, this is the perfect pattern for layering and styling. It comes in a large range of sizes, so you are sure to find your perfect fit. To give this design a soft and luxurious feel, we opted for our hand-dyed CashSilk Sock yarn. This is a really soft and dreamy blend of Superwash Merino Wool, cashmere, and silk. So it's dreamy, it's soft, it's wonderful to work with, and it wears well over time, making it a perfect sweater making yarn. We opted for a beautiful barn blue color for this sweater, but of course we have lots of colors for you to choose from. And I'm going to be giving away 6 skeins of this barn blue colorway soon. So if you would like to enter, just make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and give me a comment below letting me know your favorite project that you have ever made and what made it so special to you. Now, if you would love to grab this pattern and the yarn, you can do so at ExpressionFiberArts.com. And while you're there, of course, sign up for email and text updates for a weekly free knit and crochet pattern. Since you do use multiple skeins of yarn in this project, I thought it would be super fun to show you 7 different ways that you can join yarn in your knitting or your crocheting. There are all kinds of methods, and these are some of my favorite. We're going to start with a magic knot. This one is really fun. So you'll lay your yarns out like so. You're going to take this one and we're going to basically tie a knot with this yarn around the other yarn. So it should look like this. Go ahead and give that a little tug to make a nice tight knot. Then we'll do the same on this other side. Take your other yarn, lay it across, and basically tie a knot with this yarn around the other yarn, so it should look like this. Give it a little tug, then grab your yarns and just pull them together. And those little knots will come together in a happy little marriage. Then you're going to take your scissors and go ahead and cut off the ends. You can cut pretty close, and you have a beautiful little secure knot. Now we're going to do a magic no ends knot. So we're going to end up with a knot, but we're not going to have any ends. So it's kind of cool. Take your 2 yarns and leave about a 1/4 inch or so right here. Grab your yarn, wrap it over your thumb, and then underneath, so you'll pinch it with this finger, and then wrap it again, making sure this second wrap is closer to the tip of your thumb, and again pinch it with your index finger. And then one more time, you're going to wrap it, but underneath, right here, so underneath your thumb, and tuck these little ends in. And you kind of make sure you're pinching those ends, and go ahead and pull this yarn to create your knot. Beautiful! Now we're going to do the Russian join, which is super fun. I've got one of my yarns here, I've got the other yarn at the ready, and you're going to need a darning needle. Go ahead and pop your first yarn onto your darning needle. And we're going to basically weave this in and out, back through itself. So go ahead and do that. So weave it in and out. You can try to scooch it down the middle of your yarn, but if that's just not working for you or proves to be a challenge, just weaving it back and forth, in and out, is perfectly acceptable. So get a good little amount, back and forth, back and forth. And then you're going to go ahead and pull that through, leaving a little loop here like so. So we're going to leave that one for now, and we're going to pick up our other yarn. Now we're going to pick up our other yarn, and we're going to do the same thing. So go ahead and slide it onto your darning needle. But before you get started, we need to weave it through this guy. So just pop it through that loop. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to weave it back and forth into itself. So make it nice and secure into itself. I feel like there's a life lesson in there somewhere. I find this is a great technique actually to use with thinner yarns, since you are essentially doubling the yarn thickness, and it can show with thicker yarns. However, I will say it is easier to do this part with thicker yarns. So just experiment, play with it, see what you think. Go ahead and pull that through. Then, when you've got your two little loop-de-doops connected, you're going to grab your tails and just give them a nice little tug. And you have now created a very secure little join. And of course, if you like, you're going to want to snip those ends with sharp scissors. Boop, boop. And this is an excellent, super secure join. Next up, we're going to do what's called a needle join. I've also seen it called the cheater's braided join. So it's similar actually to the Russian join. So you're going to go ahead and grab your darning needle, pop your first color onto that. You don't need to leave much of a tail. Then we're going to weave this into our other strand. So leave a little bit of a tail because we're going to then weave that into this color. And we're going to basically do what we did for the Russian join, where we weave this in and out, but we're doing it to the other color or the other strand. You might be using the same color for your project. And you want to get a little bit of distance on this one so that they don't pull apart. This is another method where basically you're doubling the yarn for a time, so try it with your current project, see if you like it. So slide it down the middle of the strand or weave it in and out like so. So we're good on that one. Now we're going to do the same thing with this side. Feed this onto your darning needle. And you can start basically where you stopped here, or where you started essentially with the other one. And weave this one into that one. Back and forth, or up through the middle. Kind of depends on the yarn that you're using and the needle that you're using. You just want to get them securely locked together. So you'll just continue on weaving and scooching them together. And you'll go for a ways for a nice secure join. Pull your needle out, and then you're just going to give them a little bit of a tug. And you can see that you've joined these two together. And if there's extra tail, you can cut those off. And those are nice and secure and locked together. Now we're going to do a little bit simpler of a method called just the twist. So let's say you're knitting along or crocheting and whoops, you've run out of yarn, so we'll just pretend and cut the yarn. And we need more yarn. So you're going to take this old strand of yarn, you're going to take your new strand of yarn, and you're just going to twist them together like so. So just like this, and you'll continue knitting. So let me show you what that looks like. So when we pick it up, you're going to grab your other yarn, twist it with this one, like so. And then we'll just knit away. So knit, knit. This is another method, obviously, where you've doubled your yarn. Knit. And it's as simple as that. Now, those are all some very fancy, beautiful methods of how to join your yarn. I did want to point out that if you're ever feeling lazy like me, or you just forget how to do those, I wanted to mention that it is perfectly acceptable just to do a good old standard knot. I do this a lot, and you can just continue knitting, and then when it's time to weave in your ends, you'll just weave these into the back side of your work and no one will be the wiser. And here's another super simple method for you. Let's say you're stitching along, it's time to change colors or change your yarns. You can just drop the old color, pick up the new color, leave a nice long tail so you can weave it in later, and just start knitting or crocheting with your new color. Now when you do this, you may find there's a little bit of a gappy poo, a little bit of a hole, and that's no problem. When you go to weave in your ends later, just make sure you close up that hole, weave in your ends. If you did switch colors, just weave the same color into the same color and you will be golden. And I use this method all the time and I love it. I hope you get a chance to try them all, and you might prefer a different one for different projects. Just experiment and see what works best for the project you're currently making. Have a scrumptious day, my beautiful friends. Be sure to head on over to ExpressionFiberArts.com for the pattern and the yarn, and of course hop back next week where we will have another stunning new design for you. I think you're going to love it. I'll see you then. Bye!